properties from in our personal name into an LLC.
Okay, well, you guys love this topic. Moving properties from your personal name into an LLC. Tax-wise, it's not an issue. Income tax-wise, you got a couple of issues. A, is it a property in California, which by definition isn't going to cash flow? Does it re-trigger, what do you guys call it, the Proposition 13, was it? Does it re-trigger your property taxes? And there are other states that have analogs to that, so you want to check the local property taxes. Most states it's not a problem, and some it can be. The real two issues moving to an LLC from your personal name: A, insurance. Make sure that the LLC becomes a covered party under insurance, because if it's in an LLC, you forgot to change the insurance company is going to argue that, hey, the owner didn't buy insurance with us, sorry. Usually you just add them as an additional insured is usually the way to do it. Second, you got the due on sale clause. All bank contracts, I'm sure someone could show me an exception, they're few and far between. Most banks have something in their loan, logically enough, because when I draft loan documents, I put it in mind that if the title transfers for any reason, we get to call the loan due. Now, as a practical matter, will most banks call the loan due? No, as a practical matter. But sometimes it happens. Or sometimes what they'll do is they find out about the transfer, and then they say you got to put it back in your name. But once in a blue moon, the bank will say, yeah, we're foreclosing. Makes no sense, but remember, these are bureaucrats. Logic has nothing to do with the process. If somebody wrote on a piece of paper or on a flow chart, or some regulator said this is what you must do. So your only real risk is due on sale. There are a couple of ways to approach it. Most people just don't tell the bank. And by the way, if the bank learns of it, it usually is because of some insurance issue. Almost invariably, that's how they find out. What's the downside to that? Let's say interest rates go way up, which, given what we're doing with the printing presses, at some point, in fact, the government is probably disappointed that inflation hasn't occurred yet. And that has to do with velocity of money and how the money is hitting the economy, or not at all. But if and when the interest rates go up, now the bank has an excuse to call your low interest rate loan due. So you're trading one risk for another. Is it worth having an LLC given the due on sale risk? That's a real subjective question, real subjective. Now, if you have commercial loans, it's not usually a problem. If it's a commercial loan, the interest rate's a bit higher than a loan that's in your name. But usually, if it's a commercial loan, you can put it into an entity, or the bank will allow you to. Or if you refi, it'll go commercial. Just understand you're paying the extra interest, which, you know, even a 1-point difference in interest, let's say you get $1 million worth of properties, not equity, but just $1 million total. 1% on that is a lot. So you got to think about, do you want to run the risk or not?